And that was supposedly how he got injured, was trying to mount a tire that
Oh, really?
snapped back and caught him in the midsection and took him down.
Oh.
So he had a hell of a blow from this thing hitting him.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what Grandma always said.
Yeah, okay, okay.
So yeah, in one of the censuses, he's listed as a rubber worker. So
Okay then, that makes sense, yeah.
yeah, he must have been. I wonder what kind of character he was. He didn't get married till he was 50.
You know, that's
know?
a typical Irish thing though, Dan. You know, in fact, I would sum up our whole childhood, the whole time we lived there, as a typical Irish Catholic upbringing. Because from what I've read, different novels and short stories, and like Frank McCourt's Angela's Ashes, Pulitzer Prize winning book,
Yeah.
I related to that.
Yeah.
Exactly, because like there was no compliments in the family. Nobody got complimented on. Would you agree?
Left-handed compliments.
I don't even remember left-handed compliments. I just remember
Well,
we were expected to get good grades.
Yeah.
We were expected to get good grades. So we were not going to get complimented for getting good grades. We
Yeah.
would get talked to if we didn't get, well, what's the problem here? How comes, what's the reason for this? But we never got like, way to go, good job. Oh, we didn't get that. We also didn't get compliments on looks.
Yeah.
If you look nice, you were getting ready to go out somewhere and you had a nice dress on, nobody ever said, oh, you look so nice, you look so pretty. Never. There was no compliments and there was no bragging,
Yeah.
because that's how they were raised. It was
Yeah.
like, if you brag, you're tooting your own horn. That's what Mom would say. And that's what she was taught, and that's what they did.
So yeah, right. If you
So you didn't brag,
You didn't.
they didn't brag.
you did a good enough job, somebody else would notice, right? Or you did good enough at whatever.
Yeah,
you were
let
doing.
somebody else brag, but you're not gonna brag about yourself, and they aren't gonna brag about you either. Maybe they did in private, but they never did to us.
Yeah.
Report card time was always fun. Gene would run in there right away and stick her report card in Bernie's face. See what I got? Peggy and I would be ducking around corners.
Who got the best grades of the six of you guys?
Gene.
Always?
Oh,
Consistently,
yeah.
no matter what?
Yeah. Yeah, she was a hard act to follow, and actually, you know, she was younger than me, so I should have been following her in the first place, but she was a hard act to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, she always got the best
You
grades.
got nailed in school for mouthing off or doing anything, and the teacher hit you, and they found out about it, you got hit again at home.
Yeah.
They didn't want to go sue the teacher, they figured the teacher was right.
Yeah, the
so-
teachers were always right, so you couldn't use that excuse. You couldn't go home and say the teacher doesn't like me.
Yeah.
Or for some reason, they're just picking on me, because you wouldn't even try that. You knew that wasn't going to wash at all. The teachers were right.
Yeah.
Except when Dad was right, because then it changed. Like, you know,
You go tell your
we would
teacher.
say, that's right, we would say he would be explaining something, and maybe it wasn't the exact same way that the sister so-and-so was explaining it. And I remember me saying, but Dad's sister says that this is how you do it. And he goes, well, you tell sister that your father said. Like, yeah, I'm going to, she's the authority, and you're the
Yeah.
authority. I can't really question you. Well, what makes you think I would question the nun, right?
Yeah. Right.
Plus she has a habit and
Right.
everything.
And a ruler.
Ruler, right.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess he figured all this stuff out for himself for the most part. Was he a good student in school or what?
I think he was a superior
Oh,
student.
so he applied
In
himself.
fact, my mother said that.
He got good grades.
For a little rascal,
So when he
took
came
school
from
seriously.
St. John's, right, when he went to St. Joseph's, she went to
Okay.
St. John's.
Yep.
And when they both wound up at St. John's High School, she had heard this, after she dated him and stuff, that he thought that, he was gonna have some competition. When he found out that there wasn't
For
any,
feet.
he just breezed through it. I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So it was a cakewalk for him.
It was a cakewalk for him. You
Yeah.
bet. It's just a shame. I mean, if anybody was college material, it was
Yeah.
him.
Well, he actually had a partial scholarship to John Carroll.
Is that right? I didn't know
He
that.
couldn't afford to take because he couldn't
Yeah.
afford to go otherwise, and they didn't have any money to send him, but he actually got that. That's why I was halfway excited about getting to go to John Carroll when I did.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. When did
Yeah.
you hear that? When
He
you
told me, or Mom told me.
Really? Oh, I'll be
When he
darned.
graduated from St. John's, he had some academic partial scholarship, but he couldn't afford to live up there. He couldn't
Well, he
afford-
could have went to college after the war on the GI Bill of rights.
Yeah.
But of course, he
Yeah.
had a
12
family.
kids.
You're right, exactly. Well, he didn't have 12 kids, but, you know,
was
he
working
had
on it.
funeral bills and all the rest of that. You know, there was no way that
Yeah.
she couldn't go work.
That was interesting, speaking of that, you guys were 2 and 3, or 1 and 2, and when Mom was pregnant with me, and that's when he decided to join the Army.
It was a smart move as it turned out. I
Yeah.
mean, it enabled them to get a house
Yeah. Got on a boat.
with the GI
turned it
Bill of
back around.
rights. Yeah.
3
Yeah.
kids in less than 3 years, so he joined the Army. We got
Why
to
not?
stop to this for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the fourth kid came when he wasn't, you know, when he didn't get home in time for the funeral.
Yeah.
So that was the first baby that died. And that's the other thing about Mom that I have to give her. I never gave her so much credit as I did when I had my own kids. I can't believe she did what she did on what
Yeah.
she had.
Yeah.
But she, you know, in this whole fun story, she was losing babies, you know,
Yeah.
all the time. I mean, but she left that at the hospital. When she would come home from the hospital, she'd be like right back into her routine. She didn't sit around and cry, and you know, she was a strong person is
Yeah.
what she was.
Yeah, I think so.
She really was. Because I don't remember, nothing seemed to miss when she come home. Everything went on as usual, and I don't remember feeling bad or
Yeah.
Grandma would say, "Oh, your mother had a little baby girl and she died."
Mhm.
And I remember, okay,
So
Yeah.
he went to school the next day.
I know.
Didn't do funerals.
Yeah.
No, we didn't go to funerals because he thought, well, we were older then. When my sister that did live a year,
Yeah.
she died after her first birthday. I was in me and Jean were in high school, I think, and you were in the 8th grade?
Seventh grade.
Okay, then I was a freshman. And Christine
I think
died?
so.
Okay, well anyhow, we were all old enough to go to the funeral. And when she died, well, that's Tom's story, because he was there. That was really, I'm glad I wasn't there.
That was part of my.
The paper route, huh, is why you were
My
there.
paper route scam.
Right.
You had to go to church, had to go to mass every day before school, unless you had some legitimate reason why you didn't have to be there. So I had this morning paper route that only lasted like a year because everybody quit me. And it was, Christine was sick. What Mom thought was a cold.
Yeah.
Right, it
And
turned
she
into
kept getting
pneumonia.
worse and it turned out to be pneumonia, and she had trouble breathing, and so before I went to school, Mom said, "I'm gonna call an ambulance,
Yeah.
see if I can take her to the hospital." So she handed me Christine, and she called in the hospital, or trying to get an ambulance, and Christine just died.
Right there.
And you're holding her.
Yeah.
Oh,
I said, "Mom,
I don't think she's breathing.
yeah, this isn't working, Mom."
So, did she have any other problems aside from being sick, or?
But she was Down syndrome
Oh yeah,
baby.
right. Okay. So.
But other than that, she seemed, happy and fine and everything until she got sick.
Yeah.
She wasn't, not old enough to walk or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, she was just a year old, and it was right after her first birthday, and then of course, the ambulance came and took him, and supposedly, according to Mom's story, Tom put everything away. By the time they got home from the hospital, Tom put the crib away and everything that was hers. Did somebody tell you to do that, or did you just think to do? Well, anyhow,
Maybe I wanted the room.
maybe, I don't
But
know.
we were all sharing rooms.
Yeah. Right.
Well, Tom did have his own room for like 5 years,
Until Jim came along.
until Jim came along.
10 years.
Well, when we moved out there though, I mean,
Yeah, well, I was 3 when we moved in there, so I had
Okay.
it for 7 years.
okay. Did you like that, or would you rather had
Oh, I loved it.
You did really, I kind of felt bad for you, because I thought, even Gene and I didn't get along,
Yeah.
but still, it's still nice to have somebody to talk to when you can't go
I
to
could
sleep.
hide my cigarettes in the floorboard.
Not when you were 6, come on.
Maybe I was 12 then.
Okay. But like at night when we were, like 5, 6, and 7,
Yeah.
Tom had his own room, and Gina and I shared a room, and Mom and Dad had a room.
Yeah.
Kathy come along, she got a room, and then Jim come along, then Tom got a roommate.
In there, yeah.
Kathy got a roommate.
And then Kathy got a roommate with Teresa, and then Gina and I, when we have when Gina and I would have a big, huge fight, then we just switch rooms.
Yeah,
And
just-
one of us would,
Kathy
Teresa,
had a booth.
yeah, Kathy didn't know where she was sleeping. But anyhow, Tom was kind of, I don't know what the right word would be, but like Mom said, I am so sick of seeing clothes laying in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Because the next time I see anybody's clothes at night, when you get undressed and you're getting ready for bed, if I see their clothes in the bathroom, I am getting them right out of bed, waking them up, and they're gonna go pick them up.
Yeah.
So what did Tom say? Let's go put Jean's clothes in the bathroom.
Did it work?
I didn't know, I don't think he actually did that. But he thought that was a good way to go.
Sure. Little Miss
They
Perfect.
didn't, yeah, that was the problem. She was too perfect.
Yeah.
She really was. I mean, she was a good person and everything, but it's hard to grow up with Miss Perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, it really,
Oh, I know.
not for him so much, but, she was younger than me and
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't a good thing.
Yeah. You
She
can
would have
be,
been the
you know,
older sister. I think it would have been easier.
You can be perfect, then you can be Miss Perfect. Those are
I
different
know,
things, right?
I know. She was just like,
Yeah.
oh, the other great thing that we did, I don't know if Tom ever did do this, but Mary Jo's, family had that pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
And so on Sunday, her and her brother were allowed to ask friends to go to the pharmacy with them and spend the whole afternoon. And they had comic books at the pharmacy.
Mhm.
And you could make your own sundae. I mean, it was just right up there with Myers Lake. And Jean usually went, but
Yeah.
occasionally I got to go, and I don't know if you ever went or not,
I
with
rode
Mike
my
maybe,
bike. I rode my bike up there.
to Greentown?
Yeah,
Oh, did you kind of hang out there all day?
sure. We'd ride up through the old Ink Park, take those back roads up
Oh.
to whatever, I can't
Wow.
remember the name of the State Street, I guess, and over to the pharmacy.
And you knew how?
That's a
Okay.
pretty far bike trip, isn't
It
it?
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a long
Then
bike trip.
We weren't, Mom said, oh, you can't go across 12th Street, or you can't go across.
Yeah,
12th
like
Street."
who's, yeah.
Yeah.
Once you got on your bike, you were free to go.
Mm-hmm. So Peg, you would go instead of Gene, or you would go with Gene?
See, I'm sure I must have went with Jean,
Yeah.
because I can't imagine that I would have gone instead of Jean.
Yeah.
That wouldn't work. Her mom must have said, well, why don't you invite Peggy too?
Mhm.
So we both went. But it was like, oh, dying and going to heaven for me. It was just great. I love doing that.
We'd look at the Playboys and the Hustlers they had there.
Well, the
Did
thing
Carl
was,
have
you
those?
could look at all the comic books, and there was nobody standing over you going, "Are you gonna buy something or what?"
Yeah, right.
I mean, you could sit and read them all day if you wanted
Yeah.
to,
And eat ice cream, huh?
and eat ice cream and get the comic books. Are we done?
That's good. Our producer is asking for
Just a quick
Break?
A break?
Action?
A break.
I just don't know how to stop.
We still got a
So,
half hour before we
Yeah,
leave.
we're gonna take a break and we'll start.